At an age when most of us are happy just to get a beginner's license, Suzanne Gerrior was wearing the red and white of the Canadian national women's soccer team. How she got there is the ultimate illustration of preparation meeting opportunity.
Clearly, Suzanne was one of those athletes that was just driven to success. She had an intrinsic sort of behavior to get better, to learn, to be the best, both from a physical standpoint, soccer standpoint, even academic. She was just driven in that way.
She would be the one that would be up early, running in the morning and, before training. I think for her, she took the game very seriously. She had a deep belief in herself too, that, being from a small place at that age, that she could play with anybody. And that was contagious amongst the team.
Along with that motivation and self-belief, Suzanne Gerrior had natural gifts that made her a generational talent.
Her vision and her decision-making was exceptional, and that probably made her seem even quicker than she really was.
Her ability to distribute the ball, her ball skills were exceptional, and her skills, her ability to adapt to the players around her and in turn make them better players, I think was also another gift that she really had.
Those gifts allowed Suzanne to make every provincial team and the Nova Scotia Canada Games team before the age of 16. And her selection to the Canadian National Senior Women's Team in 1990 came before her 17th birthday, making her, at the time, the youngest player ever to represent Canada.
At that time, to get on a national team was very difficult for somebody from Nova Scotia. We had others in the past. Janice Kosa comes to mind, Ben Mendleson comes to mind. We'd had players in the past, and we've always had a strong women's program, but somebody that young, it was a breakthrough, so to speak.
A breakthrough that paved the way for the next generation of Nova Scotia soccer stars.
It's inspiring for, others. It gives, that goal is achievable for everyone. And I think the really unique thing about, Suzanne is her humbleness and just, she worked and stood by example and let that stand for who she was. And in turn, that just inspired not just people like myself, but others that would come, not just in those moments, but I think in the years to follow.
It was just a signal to us that there was a way, a path to the next level, and she helped us see that. And so for someone like myself, who didn't get there until almost a decade later, and you see that Suzanne had done it, and then you see someone like Suzanne Gerrior, and then myself, Mary Beth, that it's a signal for the next generation as well.
Suzanne Gerrior, a pivotal figure in the history of soccer in Nova Scotia and a lead character in a story that continues to evolve.
And I think if I could say one thing, to Suzanne tonight is just be so proud of inspiring, growing a different generation, and just acknowledging too the people that have surrounded her and others in terms of that journey unfolding. Because, Suzanne was one person and there's so many others around her and all of us, but she was a special component.
Suzanne Gerrior of Halifax, soccer star and pioneer, and our newest inductee to the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame.